beats him.
I think these odds are not indicative. I think Rothwell has an excellent chance against a guy with less than 7 fights. Rothwell has
35?
30 plus fights. Former NFL champion. His loss to Orlovsky, but I mean that's no shame to anyone.
Especially at that time.
Absolutely, he's got tremendous experience. I think he's reinvigorated by finally getting his shot in the big show. I really think that this one could be very interesting. I think Rothwell could win a decision. Putting Velasquez away is going to be very, very difficult, but mainly because Velasquez always has the ability to put a guy on his back. I am going to say that Brendan Rothwell is not the best from his back. His guard game is okay, but he's not known as a tremendous finisher from his back. He is more of a top ground guy. But this could be a good match, and actually...
what do you think about Rothwell getting Vasquez on his back? Where's that going to leave Vasquez?
Vasquez is going to be unbelievably difficult to put on his back. Vasquez is a very good wrestler. He actually has, in terms of lean body mass, Rothwell will come in slightly heavier, but Velasquez is actually the bigger, more ripped athlete. Velasquez has a more explosive takedown. But Rothwell is pretty well-rounded for a big guy. And actually, I think this one could be one of the potential fights of the night. Because actually Velasquez does have pretty good gas for a big man, and Rothwell does too, for that matter.
Okay. All right, what's the next fight that we're going to go over here, Matt?
Well, let's see, my page is a little off, but I'm pretty sure they're going to televise the Eric Schaefer-Ryan Bader fight.
Yeah.
Bader is coming off of either some type of knee injury.
That's a television fight.
That is one of the prelims? Oh, and I am going to say that UFC is doing another smart thing by airing the prelims on Spike prior to the pay-per-view, which I think is an extremely smart business move to make. He draws the casual fan in. I think he sneaks in a few more pay-per-view buys simply because of that.
Absolutely.
And generating live excitement at the time.
That's how you get to the masses.
But you got the people that watch that may later buy something the next time.
Steal a few pay-per-views.
And you feel good about it. People feel guilty when they get something for free. Right. And the average person feels like obligated sooner or later to go watch the show or do something.
Hard Rock and Barry is the other fight that's on TV.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. This is actually a toss-up fight. Hardonk, big guy. I think he's like 6'3" or 6'4". Very good kickboxer. Mediocre on the ground, but he's going against another kickboxer, Pat Barry, who is either trained by Duke Rufus or his brother. But I mean, tremendous leg kicks, devastating leg kicks. Hardonk can take and can check a leg kick. These guys are two stand-up guys. I can't think that this one's going to be contested on the ground. The one problem with Barry is that he's like 5'9" or 5'10". And at heavyweight, that's a little undersized. You need to be at least 6 foot.
Going against a good kickboxer in Hardonk.
Yeah, and Hardonk's like 6'4", 6'5".
Knockout of the night.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I mean, hard to say, but the odds-wise, very, very even across the board. So this could be a good banger match.
Someone's going to get the bonus money.
Yeah,
for knockout of the night. I just don't know which one.
Absolutely. Let's see what else. Another match of interest is actually the Chael Sonnen Yushin Okami match. Sonnen, I can't remember if he's had a match between his match with Demian Maia, in which he was dispatched fairly quickly. But this is actually, has he had a match since?
Yeah, he was. I believe, no.
Oh, Miller. It was Miller. It was one of the Miller brothers. That's correct.
And he did beat
won a decision.
Yeah, a lot of ground Okami.
Okami's an interesting story. Okami's the last guy to sort of beat Anderson Silva. The way Anderson Silva lost in that match was he did an illegal up kick and he struck Okami in the face and lost by disqualification. So it's arguable whether that was even a legitimate loss. However, he does still have the last win on paper versus Anderson Silva before his UFC stint. Okami, however, has had injuries, has been put on the back burner against other flashier but perhaps less deserving opponents. This is his match where he's probably going to attempt to get some form of title shot against Anderson Silva. Okami has two major problems. He's unknown to the American fans. He is well known in the Japanese fight game, and he's a boring grinder in a lot of cases. The guy does not finish. He always ekes out decisions. He is extremely tough. Just ask Rich Franklin in their last match, which he almost got Kimura he almost Kimura Franklin.
That's his only loss in the UFC is the Franklin, I think.
Yeah, he dominated. Actually, he's the man who forced Mike Swick into a lower weight class. if anyone recalls, in Mike Swick's corner after the first round, he says, this guy's too strong.
Yeah, too strong.
He forced Swick down in a smaller weight class. This is a feeder match for Okami. He's probably going to win. It's almost assuredly going to be by decision. Sonnen is a very good wrestler, for one-time Olympic alternate, and also extremely tough to finish, even by seasoned ground guys. Okami has a slow, methodical, grinding style. He'll win this fight, but the most interesting thing is, even with a win, will he get a title shot against Anderson Silva, a man who's known to supposedly retire sometime in the upcoming year, and who has limited title shots left. So I'm kind of thinking that he's not going to get a title shot, that absolutely, Marquardt's going to get the shot, provided he wins his next fight.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This is actually a hardcore fans match in the sense that I never thought that Okami would get any further airtime in the UFC post his Rich Franklin match.
He needs to do something spectacular
Yes.
in this to get really noticed. And Sonnen's a guy that wasn't he a WEC champion? And then,
Yeah, he beat Philo in his last match.
And then he hasn't done. He's like 2-4 or something like that in UFC. But he needs to do something spectacular, I think, to get noticed because you got Nate and you've got Dan Henderson.
Yes.
In front of him. So he's going to have to do something to move equal or ahead of those guys.
Sonnen is very good at what he does. He's a very good hybrid wrestler, sort of striker, but the problem is he has an extremely hard time finishing. This one's going to end up in a decision, no matter what.
And that's not going to help Okami in his
absolutely
shot at
not.
the title.
He needed a guy who actually he could have a great chance of finishing, and Sonnen is notoriously difficult to finish.
What do you think of Rumble Johnson going against Yoshida?
This is interesting. Yoshida's coming off of that devastating KO loss to Josh Koscheck in the fight for the troops. Yoshida is actually very, very skilled, but he's absolutely undersized against Anthony Johnson.
Johnson's tough, too.
Yeah, Johnson is tough. He's brought up his game considerably. And I'm going to say this, in recent pictures, and these are confirmed, he was up to 210, 215 pounds, dying down to 169. He's legitimately one of the largest 169 pounders out there.
I'm about 219. That means there's hope for me to get back
I
to
guess
that.
we can get back to the welterweight category. It's kind of scary to think. I
But
mean,
even those Big Macs, Jim, you got a shot.
I mean, let's be honest. Most of the 169 or 170 pounders walk around in about weight class above. So say right around 185. Johnson's dieting down from over 205. It's amazing, even at his age. I mean, even though he's a young guy, he can still do that. He is huge against Yoshida. And the one thing about Japanese fighters, as testament to when who's the guy who fought Belcher at UFC 100? Akiyama.
Yeah.
Akiyama, who came in severely undersized.
Sexyama.
Yeah, Sexyama, exactly.
They fight close to what they walk at.
They absolutely do. Weight cutting is virtually non-existent unless they have a strong wrestling background in Japan. So Yoshida is severely undersized. I'm going to say that Yoshida's MMA-related judo is actually very well implemented. I still lament the fact that he was not able to fight Carl Parisian. But this should be a pretty good match. He has tremendous throwing and actually pretty good clinch work and nasty elbows from the clinch. However, Johnson is absolutely massive and probably the more physical athlete.
As long as he's not totally drained from that kind of a weight.
Yeah, that'll be the interesting thing. I don't know if, perennially, I think he's dieted down from around 190, 195. So, not that that's an easy, not that that's an easy wake up, but being close to 215 is going to make it even rougher.
Yeah, I would think so.
All right, so what potentially I think has the potential to be the fight of the night, Joe Stevenson, Spencer Fisher.